Exploitation Section. Exhibitors Trade Review. April 1st, 1922. Manager Patterson of the Metropolitan, Atlanta, achieved the atmosphere of a vine-covered cottage in his lobby display for Metro's Turn to the Right. Real branches of peach trees were used in the decoration and on the lattice of the inner lobby. The little weatherboarded hutch is the box office camouflaged with beaverboard. Decorations used in the lobby of the Cambria, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, for First National's The Silent Call. This display was staged a week in advance of the opening. The tree, a fir, seen in the foreground, is not a property tree, but the genuine article, and it acted as a guardian to the entrance. A close-up of Manager Patterson's lobby for Metro's Turn to the Right, showing the detail. In all of his advertising, he was very careful to preserve the rural atmosphere, even to the crude Turn to the Right sign, which he used not only in the lobby display, but in all of his newspaper advertising as well. The colossal figure of Harold Lloyd used by the Strand, Atlanta, for Associated Exhibitors' A Sailor-Made Man. Uniphone and girls used by the Lucas Theater, Savannah, Georgia, for Warner Brothers' Why Girls Leave Home. Lobby of the Majeska Theater, Augusta, Georgia, dressed up for First National's Wedding Bells. One of the window displays arranged by the National, Greensboro, North Carolina, for Goldwyn's Theodora. The vase in the upper left-hand corner of the reconstructed 3-sheet is real and has natural flowers in it. It is fastened to the stiffened poster by means of wires. This front, built out of beaverboard to cleverly imitate a log cabin, served to draw many an interested observer past the box office of the Criterion, Atlanta, Georgia, to see Hodgkinson Zane Grey's The Mysterious Rider. Such a front as this is not expensive, and it lends an air of the woods to a theater that makes it irresistible to the average passerby. The National, Greensboro, North Carolina, put out an Oriental sedan with a pretty girl in it as a ballyhoo for Goldwyn's Theodora, which proved to be an inexpensive stunt that carried a real punch. It traversed all the business streets, except during show hours, when it was placed in front of the theater. One of the windows arranged by the Colonia, Norwich, New York, celebrating First National Week. This one, for Jim the Penman, was in a furniture store, and to carry out the theme of the picture, a demonstrator of a well-known fountain pen sat in the window during the run of the picture, demonstrating his pen to the delight of passers-by. The puddle jumper used by the Colonia Theater, Norwich, New York, that helped put over First National Week with a bang in that little burg. All dressed up, this well-known automobile chased over the streets of Norwich as a ballyhoo. It was also used to distribute handbills. Another one of the Colonia's windows for First National Week that put Tollable David over to big business. The entire window, dressed up with 2 3-sheets, 2 1-sheets, and a dummy with a rake against a big First National Week sign that formed a background, was given over to the picture. Located on the main street, practically every inhabitant saw this window. Manager Weisfeld of Saks' Strand, Milwaukee, arranged a dignified lobby for Metro's Turn to the Right that was not only in keeping with the theme of the picture, but also carried a good, healthy punch. The 8 panels seen on the right were hand-painted, and each one carried an individual message that ended with the words, "Turn to the right." A big city will fall every time for a lobby like this. It brings that indefinable feeling of the big woods. Arranged by the Prospect Theater of Brooklyn for First National's The Silent Call, it gave everyone who saw it a longing for the woods that could only be pacified by seeing the picture. Lobby of the Plaza, St. Petersburg, Florida, all dressed up by Manager Dorman for Metro's Peacock Alley. Moss hanging from the ceiling, large vases full of natural flowers, and 2 peacocks hung on a rope that was entwined with flowers made a lobby display that quickly caught the eye with its beauty. The card between the peacocks told the name of the picture. One of the special hand-painted 24-sheet posters used by Cambria, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, in their exploitation campaign for First National's The Silent Call. 15 of these posters were put out in the immediate neighborhood of the theater, and leaving the theater name and date off caused exactly what they wanted: talk. In place of putting decorations in the lobby, the Astor, Minneapolis, put their display for Hodgkinson's Cameron of the Royal Mounted on the canopy, where it could be seen for blocks in either direction. This shows what good use can be made of a canopy in advertising an attraction. This is a striking illustration of what can be done in the way of an artistic window tie-up. The snow scenes were reproduced with cotton, and by the insertion of tiny trees, a log cabin, a dog team, and a drop showing snow-covered plains and distant mountains, a realistic northern scene was portrayed. It was arranged by the Ellen, Bozeman, Montana, for First National's The Golden Snare. The Regent, Wichita, Kansas, had a platform built in the lobby, and on it constructed a miniature arena resembling the one in Fox's Queen of Sheba. The arena was made of papier-mâché and wooden blocks. The chariots were drawn by toy horses driven by dolls. A large mountain of white surrounded the arena. Don't kid the six-legged kid, but kid the kids in Captain Kidd's kids. Together with the six-legged sheep shown in the illustration, put Associated Exhibitors' Captain Kidd's Kids over at Moss's Broadway, New York. Two green lights shining through the dog's eyes in a darkened foyer made this a very striking poster for First National's The Silent Call. It was arranged by manager Rhoda of the Auditorium, Dayton, Ohio. When the cop, standing at the left, pinched this car for exceeding the speed limits, it had no sign on it. He supplied the sign seen on the back of the car from his pocket, then took the car over a route that embraced all the principal streets to the police station. This stunt was used by the Paramount Empress, Salt Lake City, for Paramount's The Speed Girl,